Welcome to the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. But you better call me Sister Speak. What's happening? How you living? How you breathing? How you vibing? Are you holding on? Pressing through? Establishing boundaries? That's what I thought. Because, you are a warrior. And that's what's popping. It's 12 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Dallas, Texas is where we are recording from. It's about 96 degrees. And, we feeling all right. Welcome to my first-time listeners, and welcome back to my faithful listening audience. I appreciate you. Thank you for getting the Sister Speak Show Network to 25,000 downloads. That's what's popping. I'm going to clap for myself. Just hold on. I'm going to clap for you too. This is your birthday. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. To my first-time listeners, the Sister Speak Show Network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Two things always when listening to the Sister Speak Show Network that you will need. Walk with us, okay? Water, because water is crucial. It is vital. It is imperative that you love it and that you are drinking it daily, nightly, that it is a part of your arsenal for having clear thinking and for being able to function at a high vibration, at a high level, being able to stand and withstand the wiles of the enemy, to be able to extinguish his lies, his flaming arrows, his snares, his pits, okay? Spiritually, being able to extinguish whatever he tries to throw your way. Number 2, scuba gear, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, because we dive to leagues in the sea that are deep and that require you to be able to sustain in thought where we're going in our conversation, so you won't get left behind. So as the environment shifts, that you won't be taken aback or left behind. We do care about you here because it's not by accident that you are listening to the Sister Speak Show Network. Let's get the formalities in the way and out the way so we can go ahead and get ready for tonight's episode on the Suspense Files, covering the who, what, when, where, why, and urban crime. I am a believer in the Most High God and His Son Yahweh Shai, whom the world calls Jesus the Christ. I believe in solutions for the pollutions. I am about picking up litter and putting it in the trash can. I am for my people, which would be the 12 tribes of Israel. I am for our village. I will not sell out. I will not sell my soul. I will not go mainstream if that means that I would have to forsake my assignment and my allegiance to the one who is my deliverer. Oh, it's heavy over here. So we tell it like it is. I'm not a feminist. I'm allergic to feminism. Allergic to it. It's kryptonite to how I have been fearfully and wonderfully made. I am not here to bash the brothers or the sisters, just to bash the energy that possesseth us and leads us into the wrong direction. So don't think you're coming over here to hear me go off on men and be a man hater. I love men. So nope, you ain't gonna be able to get that vibe from me over here. So I'm not gonna apologize for what I say. I am bold. I'm a part of a bold set of podcasts that have been called to speak boldly. I believe in encouragement, and I understand that spiritual warfare is real and that you will need a curriculum in order for you to make it in this world. Period. And there is a word that has been given to us that allows us to make it and endure to the end. And it is the Bible. Period. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, okay? On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. And sometimes we'll use the nation's crime to highlight how we are to stay far, far away from that energy. With that being said, on tonight's episode, dangerous and armed. Anybody can get it. Plus, the obsessed boxing coach. A crime of passion. Oh, it's about to be real. All audio clips are for fair use under the Copyright Act of 1976. This is for education and for entertainment purposes only. And I really want to say edutainment if I'm just candid about it. You know, I'm not here to shuck and jive and be a Sambo doll for you. This is just, you're going to find humor because that's what we do here. You will hear humor when necessary. You will be able to, explore what's going on in different places in the world because I have an international listening audience. So I'm grateful for you all who are on the international spectrum of listening. I want to thank everybody in totality for adding us to your podcast shuffle and for letting us be the flavor in your ear. It's 19 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Who am I? I'm Sister Speak. And who are you? You're a wonderful listening audience. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay? Now let's do this. Let's go ahead and get a couple commercials in the way and out of the way so we can move forward. But before we do that, I do want to let you all know that we are switching gears here at the Sister Speak Show Network in two ways. We've added a new segment. Sure have. We've added a new segment, and it's called The Rules of the Jungle. What? Yeah. The Rules of the Jungle, focusing on the animal kingdom and tourism. Already got an episode ready for y'all. It's going to be coming this week, most I willing. And anyway, number 2, we are going to be moving the Sister Speak Show Network to a subscription. Yes, $15.99 per subscription for you to be able to hear exclusive content, like the type of content where it's like, this is really, really getting real, where I can be even more candid, where I can be even more bold, to be able to provide you a reason why it's worth the $15.99. Okay? We're talking about exclusive encouragement videos, 15-minute videos, 10-minute videos, audio clips that will be provided for you to be able to listen to and be able to, get on your way. It's kind of like a part of your listening palette of whatever you already do to keep yourself, protected and positive and on the right track. And it's just encouragement videos. So you're going to get exclusive content. We're talking about the hour to 3 hour content. Whereas now, if you're not paying for the subscription, you will be getting 30-minute content, 30-minute content to 45-minute the most. Because I'm going to labor for those who are taking the time out to pay their $15.99. I've been laboring with you guys for so long. It's going to be 7 years since y'all have been tuned into the Sister Speak Show Network. And you have seen it grow. And I have sown seeds for free for a lot of people, whether it be interviews, commercials, just a gamut of really, really sowing my seeds. Well, it's time for the harvest to come forth. And with that being said, I hope that you do, support with your $15.99 a month. And what you will see is you'll have to go through Spreaker, Spreaker, and you'll find the Sister Speak Show Network. You'll see my logo, and you will have to subscribe. And once you subscribe, you'll see your content is there. Oh, excuse me for the bumping. Your content is there. It's locked. So as I record, the free material will stay free. Anybody will be able to click on it, but there'll be a lock on the subscribed content. So don't worry about those who haven't paid being able to listen to the content that you're paying for. It won't happen. Now, I'm in a solid situation with the platform that I've been recording from for the past 7 years. With that being said, thank you. All praises are due to the Most High God and His Son, Yahweh Shai. Shout out to the 12 tribes of Israel. We here. We in the building. We about to do this. And we are going to switch gears when it comes to the energy with this episode, because this is no laughing matter. When you're dangerous and armed and anybody can get it, that's a problem. And when you are boxing and when your trainer ends up becoming your lover and then ends up becoming obsessed with you, what do you do? How do things turn out? Oh yeah, I've got you covered. Thank you. We'll be right back. You are currently listening to Dangerous and Armed. Anybody can get it. Plus, The Obsessed Boxing Coach, A Crime of Passion, on the Suspense Files covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. Thank you for adding us to your podcast shuffle and for letting us be the flavor in your ear. You are currently listening. To play the game, you have to be in the game. To become a professional athlete, one must start early to be on the football field, basketball court, baseball field, or soccer field. Competitiveness, drive, stamina, natural talents, and knowledge of the game are required. The goal is always to get the top recruits. What comes with that package? Fame, finances, fans, and females, and the baby I'm pregnant conversation. That is a conversation that makes some athletes panic, causing them to try to remedy it in their own way, only making a mess out of the situation, whether they choose violence, murder, or poison. Next on the Suspense Files, poison deadly moving in slow. Red flags on the play. The athletic Caruth syndrome, a cautionary tale. Available on demand now. When traveling, people have choices. Whether it's by plane, train, ferry, taxi, or even the bus. However you choose to travel, you're expecting your experience to be incident and accident-free. You're not expecting to have to encounter any type of crime or even murder. However, as of late, that's not the case. There are communities that are being plagued by people who have no moral compass. Bus rides are not safe, and people are really questioning if this should be their mode of transportation. Next on the Suspense Files, the bus stop murders when tragedy strikes public transportation, plus party bus nightmares.
Did you know that the Sister Speak Show is a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa and Sonos? Tell a friend. Also let them know that the show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Thank you for downloading each episode on demand.
Welcome back. It's 27 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm your host, Sister Speak. We're in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to go ahead and get into this episode. I thank you once again for being a wonderful listening audience. Let's do this. Okay, I am fascinated with the why in urban crime, right? I'm always curious about what makes this situation tick. How did it tick? Why did it tick? You know, what is the outcome of it ticking? And how are people affected by what has gone on? And there are so many different levels of urban crime. And you'd be surprised about what goes on outside of being a professional athlete. And whether you're at a local, national, even an international level in athleticism in your professional career or pursuits to be a professional, you are definitely going to be susceptible to yourself and the elements around you. And nobody is, how can I say, nobody is exempt from experiencing anger, frustration, rage, vexation, which is irritability. Nobody is exempt from that. We experience emotions, whether you are male or female. And in the world of boxing, we are talking about fist to fist, glove to glove, and even in extreme sports, I mean, foot to face and foot to neck and kick to groin and various combinations that exact violence, punishment, brutality, and hopefully a win, championship belt, or recognition as being the winner, having defeated the opponent. And there's a lot that goes into the background before you even get to the boxing ring. And it is the outside world that has caught my attention to that inside world of boxing. I can only imagine how tumultuous and intense it is to be in that environment and then having to control your power, control your strength when you are not in the ring and faced with people who want to challenge you, or being faced with yourself, challenging yourself, being in situations where you have been taught for so long to only handle it with aggression, boxing it out, hitting it out, duking it out, squaring up. You only know how to respond with physical contact in an aggressive, painful manner. And normally, when you go into an environment like boxing or what they have, destroy rooms where you can get your aggression out, the objective is to get it out and to leave it out where it's at, not to pick it up, put it back inside, and then go and unleash it to whomever is in your proximity. The whole point is to get it out and leave it out. Just like I have the segment called the vent session. It cannot stay inside of you. These things, whatever it is, must come out. Otherwise, it'll take you out, spiritually and physically. So for a sport like this to be so brutal and have long-lasting physical effects, we have to consider all things. We have to look at the entire aspect of what led this situation right here to be. How is it that this person lost control? It's so many different things that you have to consider. But we're going to be focusing on what happens outside of the boxing ring with boxers and how they lose control. How a reaction can cause death. How even in the ring, you can end up destroyed. Never the same. Now, I want you to think about that. Are you willing to be never the same due to your career requiring you to receive blows after blows after blows, but you'll be the champ. You'll be the heavyweight. You'll get the title. You'll be recognized as the one, the man, the woman, the athlete of the year. You'll be on the cover of every magazine that is sports related. All the interviews and the accolades, but meanwhile, they're interviewing you and your head is wobbly. You've got massive headaches, but you won't tell anybody because you can't appear weak in a strong man's game. You can't appear weak in a strong woman's fight. You have to pretend like the ice pack works. That the menthol and the Bengays and the absorbing juniors and all of that works. That the numbing creams and the bandages and the physical therapy is working, but that CAT scan says otherwise. And you idolize, which you're not supposed to idolize anything or anyone or any place. The people who have gone before you in the boxing ring, but do you see them now? Do you see the outcome of all of those blows? Muhammad Ali and everybody else, all of the boxers, and you brothers that are listening to this show this evening, I know you all can name all kind of boxers because that's what y'all do as far as, that's what y'all watch. So you can name them. And you all, if you are an avid boxing enthusiast, then you can look at the transformation from when your favorite boxer first started to where they are now. The outcome. You can't ignore it. You can't shake it. You can't unsee it. It's before your eyes, the damage. Now, yeah, people place bets on boxing, but in perspective, in a real spiritual perspective, we're betting on one man or the other man to knock the other man out. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever been knocked out. I ain't been knocked out or knocked in. But to be knocked out, that means that you're not there for a certain amount of time, that you are unaware of a moment in time because you are gone. And you're paid to knock people out, to wobble their brain, to discombobulate them. And you lift your hands in the air and everybody cheers for you. But this brother over here or this sister over here is really, really lumped up and something is wrong. And because most brothers do have the desire to be like a man, even though they already are one. And in being like a man, they take the carnal position of being like a man and let carnality dictate what they're supposed to like, love, participate in, and be. And if they don't chug beer and do all these manly things and beat their chest, then they're not a man. And, have whores and cheat and do all these low vibrating things that create depression, grief, resentment, unfulfillment. But To be a man is to be brutal. To be a man is to be violently combative. To be a man is to take prisoners and roar and all that type of shit. It's to, look at something and have no moral compass about what it is that you're engaging in visually as a spectator. And we're going to get into it. It goes deep. It goes real deep. So let's get into it. Without further ado, we're going to listen to these news clips for fair use under the Copyright Act of 1976. And we're going to get into it. And at the end, you will hear the clip, the plus clip that I told you that I included in this episode about the young boxer, Leandria, who was murdered by her trainer/boyfriend. Oh, it's a tragic tale, but needs to be told anyway. A cautionary tale. Oh, I've got you covered, brothers and sisters. Let's do this. I'll be, commenting on certain parts of certain clips just to keep the vibe going and stick with the copyright guidelines. Okay? Let's do this. I appreciate you.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kelly Swoop. He was an accomplished young athlete, a promising boxer from Anne Arundel County, making a name for himself.
By the way, I apologize for interrupting. Listen, I'm in the country. When I was recording this, the cicadas were at a high volume, and you are going to be hearing the background of the country and all of the country sounds that come with this time of the year. So that's just what that is. I don't want you to think that something is coming to get you or that you're being swarmed in by something that you can hear but definitely can't see. Nah, that's over here my way. You good.
Isaiah Olagumbi is dead now. He was shot, killed last night. We're learning more about who he was and the man that police arrested in connection with his death. WMER2 News' Jack Watson reports on an outpouring of support from those who knew the young boxer.
Isaiah Olagbemi was 27. He had aspirations in the ring and in life, having just competed in a national boxing competition in Detroit. A longtime neighbor and schoolmate did not go on camera in time for this story, but told me Isaiah was always smiling and lighting up a room. He loved his family and was an amazing father. On Monday night, it was here on Meadow Mist Way in Odenton.
Residents reported hearing multiple gunshots in the area. When officers got there, they found a 27-year-old male on the ground who had been shot multiple times.
Anne Arundel Police spokesman Justin Mulcahy tells us Olagbemi was rushed to shock trauma. He died not long after. Within 24 hours of Olagbemi's Monday night shooting death, police made an arrest. On Tuesday night, we learned 36-year-old Nicholas Francis Xavier Giroux was taken into custody and charged with first and second degree murder.
At least preliminarily, this appears to be targeted, not a random act of violence, no threat to the community.
Police say they combed through evidence and interviewed witnesses here. Giroux's bail review is scheduled for this Thursday morning in Annapolis. Meantime, that longtime friend tells me Isaiah was an amazing guy. An outpouring of support through posthumous comments on his social media accounts certainly shows that. According to his Facebook page, Isaiah graduated from Arundel High School in 2014. He went to Wayland Baptist University in Texas. In Anne Arundel County, Jack Watson, WMAR2 News.
Police just released video in the deadly shooting of a boxing legend. This is a story we have followed closely for you. Buddy Harrison was shot and killed outside his home in Southeast last month. And now police are hoping this new piece of evidence will help them find the killers. Casey Nolan is live outside MPD headquarters to walk us through the footage. Casey?
Yeah, Leslie, police are hoping this new video will cause people to take a second look as they try to track down the suspects they say killed a man who had devoted his life to helping others.
Boxing saved my life.
Buddy Harrison's story was one of redemption. After 10 years behind bars for armed robbery, he came home, turned his life around through boxing, helped others do the same as a coach, and fought for the forgotten on the streets of D.C. by collecting clothes and making weekly donations.
I'm no better. I'm just like them. I got lucky.
Last month, Harrison was shot and killed on a Saturday morning outside his southeast D.C. home. Monday, police released this security video they say shows the suspects getting out of a stolen car near Harrison's home at the time he was shot. The video shows the men get back in the car and take off.
When things happen in this community, it's usually something from an outside type of event, nothing that's homegrown.
Police have not said why someone would want the 62-year-old dead, but they do believe Harrison was the intended target for these two suspects.
As far as we know, he had no enemies. He's always helping people, kids, families, homeless.
Police tell us this investigation is personal. A lot of officers, a lot of detectives, knew Buddy for all of the right reasons. Right now, there is a $25,000 reward for information in this case. Police say if you know something, they want you to call them. Leslie?
He touched a lot of lives. Let's hope this video inspires somebody to come forward. Casey, thanks.
An arrest tonight in the murder of a teenage boxer, and the suspect has a message for the victim's family.
My condolences go out to them. I'm sorry for their loss, and I hope they find who did it.
23-year-old John Shagog says he is innocent in a deadly shooting back in June. The victim, George Ramos, was shot inside his SUV before he crashed off Culebra on the far west side. The 18-year-old had won professional boxing matches. Police expect to make more arrests in his murder.
Speed feed, guilty pleas in the murder of former boxing champion O'Neal Bell.
Investigators say 22-year-old McCorian Davis and Quintavious Robinson shot and killed Bell while they robbed him. It happened as he was getting off a MARTA bus in South.
Listen, we have got to stop naming our children names that make no sense. I mean, when you name your child Quintavious, what are we expecting here? What does that mean? What does that name mean? We have to give our children names that mean something, okay? That give them a chance in life to want to make right decisions. You give me a name like that, I might not make right decisions. I might be on some F shit. I might really be out here just doing the most when I'm really just doing the least. You understand what I'm saying too? You just out here because my mama named me a toe-up name. No name with any chance in life. Just a name that's going to have me ending up on Crime Stoppers. A name that I can barely spell. You go to school and the teacher wants to have an assignment where you're saying, hey, we're going to do an assignment where everybody's going to tell us what their name means. And if you don't know, go ahead and find out, and we'll come back to school and we'll tell everybody what our name means. And now you go home and you ask your mama, what does Quintavious mean? It means that you was either Quinn's baby or Tavious's baby. Sorry. Let's get into it.
East Atlanta. Police say it was part of a larger crime spree that started earlier in the night with a carjacking. That was in November of 2015. Today, the two men pleaded guilty to the murder. A judge sentenced them to 25 years. The Fulton County DA's office says the pair were members of the same Atlanta criminal street gang. He admitted that the crimes were a way to try to elevate their status within that gang.
And that's what we're talking about the moral compass in our village is thrown all the way off. There is a section, a crowd of people within our village who are our people who are like the Night of the Living Dead, zombies. To have an organization that says the only way that you can elevate your status is if you go out and you murder somebody. We have law, statute, and commandments that we've been given, and we're not supposed to do that. We don't have to do that. We're not supposed to do that. There is no status that is elevated. This is all a lie, and it's meaningless, and it will, in the end, prove to be nothing but a vapor of thought where you will have to give an account, where your life and your livelihood and even your well-being on this side of the earth will be compromised and your freedom will be shifted from you. I mean, we're still in captivity. Don't get that twisted. But what are you trying to get? Triple captivity? Quadruple captivity? This is where we have to say, okay, enough is enough. The bloodlines are cursed and they need to be cleansed. They need to be healed. They need to be delivered. The thought processes that continue to carry on generation after generation are plaguing us and leading us into consistent punishment where we don't end up seeing a fruit of our labor because there's literally no fruit in the labor. And now you're laboring in vain. And not only are you laboring in vain, you're laboring in disobedience. And that disobedience is what has put us on the chopping block with our Father, the Most High God. That has put us on the chopping block the entire time. We don't listen, and it is as if we do not care. Have we in the village also cremated our cares? Are we likened into the oppressor? Have we gotten so comfortable in Babylon that we feel that we have to also be like the oppressor? Gangs, organizations where people feel like they need to belong and feel a sense of solidarity and foundation and likeness. People search for these things. And then you find policies, thoughts, doctrines, rituals, ceremonies that say we don't care about the Most High God and Yahweh Shai. We don't. We don't care about the commandments and the laws and the statutes. We don't care about the word. We don't care about none of that. We gonna be just like we want to be because we can do what we want to do because we can do what we want to do. We're off in our thinking. And until we do what we're supposed to do, we're going to continue to get news clips like this where you can only just shake your head and be like, damn. How did that ball get dropped? Was it even picked up?
Most boxer defied the odds, survived growing up in a tough Chicago neighborhood, graduated valedictorian, went off to college, but today, Ivory Hall, seen in this documentary, is charged with murder in Alabama. CBS 2's V Win, live at St. Sabina Church, where Hall was convinced to turn himself in. V.
Brad, that's right. Ivory Hall turned himself into police in Alabama on Friday after talking to Father Michael Flager here at the church. Father Flager sponsored him and wanted to see him succeed, so news of the murder charge came as a shock to him and everyone here at the church.
Everybody think that I can't do it.
His life was featured in this 2018 documentary. Ivory Hall opened up about his struggles and his life growing up on the south side of Chicago.
How's y'all going? In through your nose, out your mouth.
He turned to boxing as an escape and St. Sabina Church for help.
He lost his mother when he was very young, later lost his father. He was homeless on the streets, surviving on the streets. And
let's get into it. We need to pay attention to these two, listen to his story. You know, a lot of times we hear it and it's like, okay, bash, bash, bash. But like I said, we're going to have to understand the ingredients that make this cake. And what just stuck out was the fact that he lost his mother when he was young, and then his father, and then he was homeless. When you are a child and your whole stability is taken from you, because I know my father passed away in fell asleep in 2014. And that is a loud silence, and things change after that. There is a shift in everything, especially when your father was a real daddy, was a real father, was a real man in the house, like my daddy was. And it is a different vibe. Everything changes. So I can only imagine not having, because, the coping skills are different for everybody. The grieving capacity and season, you can't even put a stamp on it or a time frame on it. Excuse me. It comes and it goes. So I can only imagine having your entire world rocked like that twice at a young age. And I'm not even going to do a disclaimer. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that. So let's keep listening. But remember, as you get older in life, you will begin to recognize that there are ingredients that make a cake, that make somebody be who they are, why they are, and what they are.
But he always had a determination to wanting to do better.
Father Michael Flager says Hall turned his life around and described him as a walking miracle. He gave up the street life, graduated from Tilden High School as a valedictorian, and got a scholarship to Alabama State University.
We try to be family to him and help him and support him, wrap our arms around him and do what we do here with all sorts of young brothers and sisters all the time, and try to be there to help him succeed.
Father Flager says Hall was home in Chicago about 2 weeks ago. The two met and talked at the church. He soon found out that Montgomery police in Alabama wanted to question Hall about a murder, and he arranged for Hall to turn himself in last Friday.
First of all, my prayers are for the family who lost their son, their brother, a friend, people in down at Alabama State. That's tragedy. And my prayers are also for Ivory, that we now find out what happened. What was the scenario? What happened?
Hall is accused of killing 22-year-old Adam Dowdell, who is also a student at ASU. He was reported missing on September 8th. His body was found near campus last Monday. Investigators say Dowdell had been shot. The motive still unknown.
Dear Montgomery, Alabama, WTF? There is a spirit, and it is thick in Montgomery. I've visited there a few times, family in that area, and it is a thick energy. It is a depressed energy. It is a slow-moving energy. The unresolved conflict and pain and atrocities that occurred in Montgomery, Alabama alone. That energy didn't go anywhere. It settled somewhere. And the repetition of it. Here it is, two brothers needing a way out, wanting a way out, receiving a way out, going to college, Alabama State, and for whatever reason, there's a conflict and one of them is murdered. We can't applaud that. There's no good going. But there is a group that thinks that this is pretty excellent and thinks that, brothers should keep on killing each other. The design of the think tanks to destroy our community and to permeate the atmosphere with their witchcraft and their occults and their thoughts and their legislations and policies and things of that nature. It's really diabolical and wicked. And for some reason, we just play right into it. Oh, you want us to take each other out and eliminate the entire existence of the Israelites? Sure, we'll do that. It's just this comfort in genocide, in homicide. It's this comfort in what else can we put in the atmosphere to rile them up, to get them to get further and further away from the law, statutes, and commandments, to get further and further away from the relationship from the one who has chosen them to be the chosen people. I don't think our people realize how jealous, envious our oppressors are of our position. and how much time they spend gaslighting us and us falling for it. How much time they spend projecting upon us who we aren't and how we accept it. It's amazing how we can be so easily influenced by wickedness and do it with pride. Nobody wins in this situation. Not the young boxer or the brother who lost his life. Nobody wins. It wasn't worth it. There was no need. And what's the point of conflict mediation if nobody mediates the conflict? I never, guns get too much glory. I'm just going to say that. How weak we have become in our physical nature and have replaced what could be our strength in status with a metal object that can just make a quick decision that comes with a consequence as far as you having to give account for your life. We all must box. We all need to be boxers. What are you saying, Sister Speak? Why do we all need to be boxers? Because we have some demons that we need to box and knock out. That's why. We all have some inner demons that we need to box and knock out. All the way out. Likened unto the word purging. Casting out, far from, so we can give ourselves a better chance at ourselves. So we can be top quality to ourselves. So we can owe ourselves we owe ourselves to make better decisions. We do. So get your gloves and box your demons. Because the last thing you want to do is the first thing you should have done.
Shocked and I'm hurt and my heart's broke on this because again, here's the scenario, a young man is dead. Another young man's in jail.
Now, Hall is charged with 1 count of murder. Right now, he's being held in the Montgomery County Jail in Alabama. His bond is set at $250,000. Reporting live outside St. Sabina Church, V1 CBS 2 News.
Right now, a pro boxer and fitness influencer is under arrest, accused of cyber harassment. Local 10's Samir Nefsi is joining us. He's outside the jail in West Miami-Dade with this story. Samir?
Christy, so that pro boxer and social media influencer accused of leaking sexually explicit photos of a female and putting them in an online group chat. Of course, now she is behind bars facing a serious charge. From boasting fitness accolades to facing a Miami-Dade judge.
Miss Cohen.
Stephanie Cohen facing several charges alleged to have posted a woman's nude photos in an online group chat in 2023.
Computer offenses, then sexual cyber harassment, criminal mischief, resistance without violence.
The 32-year-old pro boxer with 1 million followers on Instagram is alleged to have illegally accessed a then-boyfriend's laptop in March of 2022, saving the photos and then distributing them in different groups the victim was a part of in 2023 with the purpose of exposing and humiliating her, say, arrest documents. The report adds the incident occurred after Cohen had learned her boyfriend was having a relationship with the victim. Cohen is alleged to have guessed the man's password and obtained the sexually explicit photos. According to the report, Cohen wrote in a group chat she sent the photo with the intent to cause emotional distress to the victim. Police arresting the boxer on Tuesday when Cohen is said to have not complied and walked away from officers. While attempting to arrest her, she physically restrained, say police. at one point using her right leg to hook an officer in an attempt to sweep him off his feet. Then, after being placed in a squad car, she attempted to use her toes to pull open the latch, ultimately breaking the lock.
What in the Thundercat is going on? You guys underestimated this person who you arrested. She is a boxer, by the way. What did you think was going to happen? You thought she was just going to comply? She's already lost her mind. Let me explain something to you. If you are not in your right mind, you will do the wrong things. And when you are scorned and you are bitter, you are on the path to destruction, and anybody can get it. Hence the title. Anybody can get it. You can get it, you can get it, and you can get it. Why? Because I got it first. And I didn't like it when I got it. And what I got, I didn't like. It hurt. It betrayed me. It was wrong. It was shady. I'm devastated. So yes, anybody can get it. Now, I'm not condoning anything that she did. I'm just saying I know about an anybody can get it moment or season. Anybody can get it is cousins with fuck around and find out. You need to know that. You need to know that. And so when those two come together, oh, anybody can get it, fuck around and find out. It's going to be war. And she went off. Now, I always tell people this, and some people listen, some people don't. And I'm going to keep encouraging you all to stop sending nude photos of yourself to people. What's going on here? We've got to, there's something that's called cringe. Cringe is your friend. It makes you not do things. You get cringy vibes and feelings when you're about to make a decision that you should not make. You're about to do something that you should not do, or say something that you should not say, or look at something that you should not look at. Cringe. Cringe is your friend. Okay? Okay. It's cousins with conviction. Okay? Cringe, conviction. And in that, those two words keep you from sending nudes. I'm just telling you, it's a true story. If you don't send nudes, then you will not be a victim of revenge porn. Oh, I'm going to send him this, 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 and this one. Oh, I know he'll like this one. Just loose. And then the entire time he has another female. And she did not agree that it would be all three. It would just be her and he. She and he. And now we have the revenge porn. Anybody can get it. Not only is this group chat going to get it, but this group chat too. Oh, this one too. Because when a woman is scorned, she is definitely a Hellcat. And anything can happen to you, and you. And if she thinks that you might be a part of this over here, you can get it too. Oh yeah, she's going through your whole contacts. It's called select all. You know what select all is, right? It's when all get selected. Everybody. Great grandma, great great grandma, great 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 grandma, everybody. Pastor, deacon, auntie, everybody in your contact list is about to know about this. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaction versus response. If all parties involved are honest, then we can live in the season consistently of being able to respond when a challenge arises. But I will be less likely to have to respond to challenges if you do your part to actually follow what you say you gonna do and be who you say you're gonna be. Yeah, it's a world of fuckery. It's crazy. It's bananas. Dangerous and armed. anybody can get it.
All right, so Cohen now faces 3 charges: accessing a computer, unauthorized accessing a computer, as well as sexual, cyber harassment, criminal mischief. Of course, he's expected to come out of the jail at any minute. We'll be here posted to keep you updated. Live in West Miami-Dade, I'm Samir FC, Local 10 News.
This afternoon, local boxing champion Robert Easter Jr. is found guilty in an assault case against him. It happened back in August at the Bucks Rack City Strip Club on Telegraph Road, in which he punched a woman's face, causing her to become unconscious. Now, Easter originally entered a not guilty plea, but changed that to a no contest plea in court Tuesday, and a judge found him guilty. He was referred to probation and will...
I don't know what happened. I don't know what led up to the punch. But I think we can all agree, collectively, okay? I know we can, that we don't want to get punched. Nobody on this earth wants to get punched. Only people that want to get punched, the people get paid for getting punched. But you and I, normal people walking around this earth, we're not looking to get punched. Ouch. What was that for? So you had to close your whole fist? You couldn't have just tapped my shoulder and said, hey, don't do that again if I even did anything in the first place? Why are you punching me, sir? Ouch. Wasn't expecting that. Once again, don't know the details, don't know what happened, don't know if she was all up in his face, don't know if it was a lap dance gone wrong, don't know if she had twerk wind, don't know, don't know the circumstances. Don't know if he was drunk. Don't know if she didn't want to, do the champagne, boom, boom, boom. Don't know. But I do know that he punched her. And I know that it hurt. How do I know that it hurt? Because she called the police. Listen, for you strong people that shake shit off because you don't want nobody to think that it hurt, we know that shit hurt. Your whole reaction said, ouch. Wait a minute. What did I say? What did I do? Is this a case of mistaken identity? It's about to be, because you ain't finna look the same after you get punched. It might be a case of mistaken identity. Once you get punched, it is a case of mistaken identity. Because you ain't finna look the same. Is that Robert Jr.? I don't know. That don't look like... No, his nose is way bigger than Robert Jr. Baby, I think that is Robert Jr. What's wrong with him? Why are you on the curb with an ice pack with the amber lamps? I mean, yeah. We need to be careful, because if you're in somebody's face and you're like, do it, I dare you, then you're dumb as shit. I mean, there's nothing I can really say to you. You're in need of a tutor or an aide or somebody to walk around with you for the rest of your life, because you don't need to be loose by yourself. If you're challenging people to beat you up, go ahead. Beat me up. Do it. Yeah, go ahead. You're a big guy, bro. Yeah, bro. And the next thing you know, bro has knocked you clear out. Gunner, okay, Tanner. And because you asked for it. A punch is no joke. Domestic violence is no joke. A woman hitting a man is no joke. And a man hitting a woman. I'm not condoning any of it. Now, I'm going to tell you what I do condone. Self-defense. It is what it is. It is what it is. But you and I both know, on a regular day, on a regular Tuesday at 4:23, you're not looking to get punched. You're trying to go home and chill out. It's been a long day. Now you've gotten punched. Let's learn to try to give people distance and space to where punches don't even land. How about that? Did you know that boxers are trained to duck and weave? I'm just saying. You ain't got to get punched. It's not funny. I'm going to be quiet. It's not funny. Well, I'm not going to be quiet, but it's not funny. It is, but it isn't, but it is. It isn't.
Be back in court later this month.
Who's had a few run-ins with the law is in trouble again.
This time for allegedly assaulting a woman in her 60s in a shopping center.
My thing is this: if you punch me, I feel like your hands should go to jail. You can be free, but your hands need to go to prison. Yes, a whole cell with your hands on a cot. Yes, I'm not playing. If you punch me, I'm gonna go before the court, and I'm gonna ask the court for your hands to be removed from your body and to be put in jail. I'm not pressing charges on you. I'm pressing charges on your fist. Both of them. Because if one of them could do that, ain't no telling what the other one can do. Yes. I'm not playing. Got me over here lumped up looking like Martin. Are you kidding me?
Center parking lot. Back in the day, Paul Spadafora was dominant in the boxing ring.
He's had some serious issues.
Last thing you want is for somebody to say to you, I heard what happened. I'm just checking on you. I know you don't want to talk about it. That's how you know that punch landed with impact. When somebody says to you, and you know that tone, it's the tone where they're trying to be empathetic, they're trying to be considerate, they know that you're embarrassed as shit, that you really just wish you could disappear. And, it's just like, hey, I did hear what happened, and I just want to see if you're okay. I know you don't want to talk about it. I just want to see if you're okay, if you need anything, if there's anything I can do for you, because I know if I would have gotten punched like that, I would want somebody to call me and ask me if I was okay after getting punched the way you got punched. I would want all the support that I could get, whether it be from social media or the ambulance or, critical care unit, 24-hour emergency, corner, medic, hospital, anything. I would want, but I know you don't want to talk about it. I know you don't want to tell me what happened or, why you didn't duck or nothing. I know you don't want to talk about it. I know you. I remember you told me you was about it. And that don't nobody want no smoke. That it was a pistol grip pup on your lap at all time, and that make them say na 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 na. And what else was that you said? I remember. I know you watched The Karate Kid a couple times. So I know you don't want to talk about it, and I'm just calling as a friend, as a cousin, as a sis, to let you know I got your back. And on the phone, I got your back. I mean, I'm not gonna ride with you to go retaliate because it doesn't look like it's gonna be in our favor, based on your injuries. I probably wouldn't post my injuries on social media. Don't do that. But I just, like I said, I know you don't want to talk about it. I just wanted to see if you was all good, and anything you need from a conflict mediation prayer warrior in the back, nonviolent, won't have time to ride up on no sets and nothing. Not trying to, don't want to go with you to point whoever did it out, just in the back. Just, I know you don't want to talk about it. Just wanted to see.
In his personal life, though, including serving time for attempted murder. Tonight, he's facing new charges. John Shumway has the KDKA exclusive. John.
Yeah, Ken, this was a situation that happened on Monday evening, late afternoon evening, in the Crafton Ingram Shopping Center parking lot. Now, Paul Spadafora is 40 years old. The woman involved in this, 63. The surveillance camera video is grainy, the incident on the left edge of the screen. But witnesses say there is no doubt the man seen throwing a woman to the ground.
That's false Spatafora, the boxer.
Long known as the Pittsburgh Kid. The folks at the Redstone Tavern say Paul Spatafora and his brother came in around 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon and started playing pool.
He seemed pretty like he was intoxicated before he came. Not intoxicated like liquor-wise, but like he was on something else.
And after a few drinks,
He started harassing from the end of the bar to the other end of the bar. I don't know who wants to box with me, who wants to fight with me. And everybody just kept their seats, mind their own business.
but when he got to this woman, her name is Liz, at the end of the bar.
He grabbed her hat, took it off, and like shook her in the headlock a little bit, and like started drinking her beer.
Liz got away from the boxer and headed outside to call the police. Witnesses say Spatafora followed her out.
He goes out there because he heard she was calling the police and went out, grabbed her, and threw her on the ground.
Liz stayed on the ground for a while. The patrons say her leg was bloodied, but she was able to get up. A few minutes later, with his brother leading the way in a Steelers jersey, Spatafora left the shopping center. Police and an ambulance arrived moments later.
And no doubt, Paul Spatafora.
We're still in the investigative stage of the investigation, but we will be filing charges.
So no doubt charges will be filed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, I just got off the phone with the investigating officer a short time ago, and he tells me that Spatafora will be charged with simple assault and harassment, and those charges will be filed this evening. Liz was treated for an injury to her hand and to her knee by the paramedics at the scene, but she declined to go to the hospital. We spent the afternoon trying to get a hold of Paul Spatafora or his attorney and have been unsuccessful. Live downtown, John Shumway, KDKA TV News.
According to police and the sheriff's office, Lineberger approached that 22-year-old victim outside of a club just down the street from here. He threatened her with violence, then took her to his home 5 miles away. At this small house on Terracea Drive, a night of terror for a 22-year-old woman. Held against her will, police say, by a 6'4", 250-pound former professional boxer.
He was always to himself. He always said he wasn't a people person.
Philip Williams is Lineberger's roommate. He lives in this home with 4 other people, a boarding house where the landlord rents out single rooms to tenants. Williams says Lineberger had lived here for about a month and was always very strange.
Every night he was up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Early yesterday morning, that strange behavior became serious. According to the sheriff's office, he held a woman in his bedroom for about 3 hours, sexually assaulting her. She was able to escape by texting her friends and using GPS on her phone to tell them where she was. They then contacted deputies. When the victim knew help was on the way, she started screaming.
We could hear a woman yelling, and when we found exactly the home that it was coming from, we made forced entry.
That was close to 6 in the morning. According to Tampa police, that ordeal started right here in front of the Amphitheater Club in Ybor City. It was 2:30 in the morning when that young woman was picked up by that former professional boxer. Police tell me Lineberger was friendly at first. He managed to get the victim away from her friends, then changed his tune when he told her to get into his car. Police and deputies say this could have been an even more horrible ending.
He could have killed her. This unfortunately was...
Stranger danger. It is a term used to let you know that there is danger with this stranger. This is a stranger and there is danger. And there should never be any amount of convincing that would have you get off your post and keep your head out and not have your head on a swivel. We are not living in a day and age where you can be like hitchhiking. We're not living in a day and age where you can just get in the car with somebody. Now, yes, we do Uber, we do Lyft and things of that nature, but at least it's an organized ride, right? And I know that there are some flub-ups that come with that, but primarily it's an organized transportation system that works, okay? And to just get up in the car, to have somebody love bomb you and then within a twinkling of an eye switch, and now you're fighting for your life. It's just like, where is the radar when it comes to saying, no, this doesn't look good? I don't know about you, but the hair stands up on my arms when I'm in the midst of something that I should not be in the midst of, or around somebody or energy that I shouldn't be around immediately. And I don't ever want to be giggling and laughing with anybody to the point where somebody thinks that I'm off guard because I'm all hee 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 and ha 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 and stuff like that and giggling around and showing my teeth. No, it's war. And this is the season of camouflage. And I'm not getting in the car with you. That was a lesson that young lady had to learn. It's a lesson that other young ladies can learn through that young lady. You have to be careful. You cannot be so ready to kick it. Hang out, chill, vibe. You can't be so lonely that you end up putting yourself in a situation where you end up having to fight for your life. And, there are red flags when it came to this roommate, up for no reason, doing weird things, vibing out wrong, failing to register as the house as a registered sex, that he was a registered sex offender, all kind of stuff. Lost it, gone, and using his weight and his height to intimidate his victims.
Was one of the better scenarios.
And we know Lineberger is a convicted sex offender. Like I said earlier, he was convicted of an eerily similar crime in New York in 2007. And while he is a convicted sex offender, he had not registered the house he is living in. And that should be another charge that will be added to his already list of charges that he has
I ain't gonna say it.
right now as he's waiting at the Hillsborough County Jail. I'm reporting live in Ybor City. Clifton French, ABC Action News.
Breaking story after a young Mexican boxer lost her life due to injuries she suffered in the ring. 18-year-old Jeanette Zacarias Zapata died last Thursday. She was competing in a boxing match in Montreal, Canada on August 28th when she suffered a series of powerful punches. Zapata received medical attention in the ring before being rushed to the hospital. She died 5 days later. Organizers say her husband and trainer was devastated by her death.
Hello. Fraternity and the family of Leandra Baby Lee Yehuz are shattered. The 25-year-old South African.
Okay, this next clip that you're about to hear is about the obsessed boxing coach, A Crime of Passion.
Boxing and karate champion has allegedly been killed by her ex-boyfriend, a policeman. She has been shot multiple times while on her way to gym. Her mother, who had been with her at the time, also sustained gunshot injuries.
The charged service at a packed East London City Hall. Friends, family and community members came to bid farewell to what they've described as a young life uprooted way too soon. Some lament that this death could have been prevented.
The system has failed us, and the family, as the family will also say. I mean, Baby's mother said it to the president the last time the president was here to visit her, to say she feels that she was failed by justice. You know, one of the reasons is that on the interdict, one of the things that we said that take off this boy's firearm, and it was not taken.
Baby Lee made efforts to escape what was a toxic relationship, but that didn't help to save her life.
She died in the hands of someone whom she once loved. We are told that we need to get out of abusive relationships. Leandra did. We are told we need to apply for a protection order. Leandra did. But even still, that guy took his life. So it's so unfortunate. She had a bright future ahead, and we were sure that she was going to make South Africa very proud.
The boxing and karate champion's death comes at a time when the country is battling gender-based violence.
We are overwhelmed by the number of people who have died. I heard yesterday that 62 women were killed in August in our country, and that is absolutely horrendous. So this is the moment when we have to change. We have to turn around this scourge that has befallen our communities and our society.
Yahas will be buried in East London this weekend. Yanga Funani, SABC News in East London. A somber mood as fellow colleagues are still in disbelief. Baby Lee, as she was affectionately known, lost her life at the hands of an ex-boyfriend. She had a promising future inside and outside the ring.
She had the B.Ed degree. She was a teacher, and sometime last year she told me that, I'm going to stop teaching for a little while. I want to be a world champion in boxing and at the same time do my honors degree.
There are calls for awareness campaigns that will assist to root out gender-based violence.
One of the outcomes of the strategic plan is a prevention strategy. So we're looking at what do we need to do to change attitudes and behaviors.
Baby Lee's life was cut short at a time when she was on the cusp of making her mark internationally. Her family, consumed by grief, declined to comment. Baby Lee's mother, Rita Yechels, is currently recovering at an East London hospital. The suspect is also believed to be treated in the same hospital under police watch. After the shooting of Yechels and her mother, the suspect fled the scene in the direction of Port Elizabeth. A high-speed car chase ensued and the suspect crashed into another vehicle on the N2 near Pedi. A further 2 people died in the accident. Yanga Funani, SABC News, East London.
The Independent Police Investigative Directorate, IPID, has confirmed that a member of the SAPS has been arrested after allegedly shooting and killing a 25-year-old woman in Mdantsane near East London in the Eastern Cape. The deceased is boxing champion Leandre Baby Lee Jengels. The officer is further accused of shooting the victim's mother, who's in hospital. He's currently in hospital and will appear in court on Monday.
Happen. And then we were, that's a good, it's a great knockout. It's devastating. Making history and stuff like that.
You are currently listening to Dangerous and Armed. Anybody can get it. Plus, The Obsessed Boxing Coach, a crime of passion, on the Suspense Files covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. Thank you for adding us to your podcast shuffle and for letting us be the flavor in your ear. Some women think they're stepping in the name of love when they're actually stepping in the name of danger. Meeting a man who says all the right things, doing all the right things, masquerading as an angel of light. Wanting access into the home, ready to be a father figure to your children because you're vulnerable, you're weak, you're desperate. He's charming. He's good at what he does. His past, you don't care about that because you're ready for your Mr. Right, even though he is Mr. Wrong. And things got different when he moved inside of the house. And he's not leaving anytime soon. Next on the Suspense Files, the step-boyfriend father. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Being able to pull back your sexual energy and have self-control in an area where you once didn't is an accomplishment. Being able to be focused because you are tired of the old you. Tired of the crying, tired of being disappointed, tired of being a part of the hit it and quit it, tired of the one-night stands. Tired of being told that they love you when they really don't. They just wanted your sexual energy. You're also tired of telling people, no, you're not coming over and you will not be a booty call. You're serious about your celibacy. The feelings come and they go. Sometimes you're tempted and sometimes you're not. The overall objective is to remain celibate, but there are some people who don't care about your celibacy. Next on the vent session, pressed for pleasure. When your celibacy is tested, the dangers of being on demon time. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. You made up in your mind that once you got to Hollywood, nothing was going to stop you. You were going to be famous and you were going to get a star on the Walk of Fame. You were willing to do whatever it takes to get your record deal, even if it means exploiting your God-given talents, even if it means hanging out late night with the who's who. Some people don't even have talent, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to get on. And many find out what the D and record deal really stands for next on the tour, Surviving the Producer's Proposition. The Sister Speak Show wants to be with you on the go. It's simple. Just add us to your podcast shuffle so we can be the flavor in your ear. You'll be glad that you did. We are rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. But I know you know that already. Thank you in advance for downloading and for being a wonderful listening audience. Welcome back to the Suspense Files, covering the who, what, when, where, why, and urban crime. It is 11:32 p.m. Central Standard Time. Dallas, Texas is where we are podcasting from. I'm your host, Sister Speak, and you, a wonderful listening audience. Dangerous and armed. Anybody can get it. Plus, the obsessed boxing coach. A crime of passion. You heard everything, just like I did. We were here together as the clips were playing. And we can both agree it is dangerous to be dangerous and armed. What particularly stuck out to me, all of them stuck out to me, but the last clip with, and I apologize for the, small audio difficulties throughout this podcast. Anyways, what stuck out to me was the fact that I listened to the story about Baby Lee, the boxer. I listened to an entire crime documentary on their relationship. And she had had enough. And when she confronted him, that's how she lost her life. Not being able to escape somebody who has fixated on you, it's not a laughing matter. It's not cute, It's nothing about, oh, he's sprung or hee ha. No, this is a serious situation. And that means that there is somebody who does not care about your boundaries. They don't mind trespassing because they are obsessed with you. And they will go through and to any length to have you, to control you, to alter your entire world, to mess up your equilibrium, and to have you scraping and scrambling for mental stability and a normal life. They will make you loathe them, be disgusted by them, because they have taken what should have been normal and turned it into abnormal, psychotic, a mental breakdown where everything is no longer okay. And that means that you're coming to your house unannounced, trying to break into your house, showing up where you are, making it impossible for you to move in freedom. That you have to reorganize your entire world and re-strategize how you're going to go out your front door. Is he going to be in the bushes? Is she going to be in the bushes? Where are they going to be today? What are they going to do today to show me that they have control over my life in their minds? Do I give in to them? How do I protect my family? At what cost is this going to cost me? How am I going to end this? Do I go to the police? Would I go to the police? Will they help me? Do I go to the FBI? Who do I go to? Do I take it to street justice? What do I do to protect myself from this person who is obsessed with me, who became so fixated on me because they felt like they were entitled to my energy because of them being my boyfriend and my trainer? Jealous, lost it, just completely lost it. Harassed that girl to where she is no longer around. So now who do you harass? How do you deal with your obsession and your fixation on somebody whose life you have taken? What does your obsession look like now in this season that you can't obsess on her physically anymore? What do you do now? How do you move forward? What does that look like for you? To ruin, her life and other people's lives because you are not balanced. Some people do not need to be in a relationship. And if you don't have discernment, you can miss out on some things. And there are some people that are so good at love bombing, so good at being covert in their real agenda, that you can be deceived. You can be fooled. It can happen. You can really think that, okay, I can let my guard down just a little bit. And just that little bit, next thing you know, you fighting for your life, because that's all the enemy needed, was just a crack or a crevice to seep in and wreak havoc. We're not aware of the fact that when we give into our actions so frequently, or when we give into things frequently, and we don't almost like vet our own actions and our thought processes, then we can end up having regret. We can end up saying, man, I made a mistake. I didn't see the red flags. And that's even if you get to say it. This young girl had enough. That's why she confronted him. And he took her life, shot her mother. She had it. You know, it's just like everywhere I go, there you are. I don't want you. I don't need you. I'm no longer in love with you, but I can't tell you that. And when I did tell you that, you went off. It's like it's easy to get them in, but it's hard to get rid of them. And you know that's a true story. It is hard to get rid of these people. It puts you in a 911. It puts you in consistent lava because you're in the danger zone now. And we should be grateful that we escaped some of the craziest relationships that we've ever been in. That we are alive today, being able to say thank you, that our dumb decisions, our promiscuity, our desire to fornicate, our desire to be of disobedience didn't end like these news clips. We need to be thankful and grateful and being remindful of this sister here and the rest of our brothers and sisters that are in this clip. Be mindful. Let their reactions, let their decisions be a curriculum for how you move and groove. Let the world of boxing be looked at in a different way. Maybe you'll desire something different than to see our brothers and sisters beat each other up and get paid to do it and then end up completely discombobulated in their thought process with Parkinson's disease, stroke, slurred speech, cauliflower ear, a nose that has been broken so many times it can never go back to its right alignment. Can't even speak and form sentences. Everything is fragmented because your brain has been rocked. Oh, but you got $1 million for the fight. You got $20 million for the fight. Oh, but you got to come out with your Versace, boxing robe, and you got to come out with the hottest rapper, and it's really up and it's stuck. But is it really when you end up having convulsions? Is it really when you have to be on consistent pain meds because you really got lumped up that last time? Is it worth it? I don't think so. Dangerous and armed. Anybody can get it. Will it be you? Will it be you? Or will it be you? We'll be right back after this commercial break. There is a phenomenon taking over the East Coast, the West Coast, the dirty South, and everywhere else. Some consider it to be a culture, a way of life, a part of hip-hop. However, lawmakers, law enforcement, and some residents are up in arms about how to crack down on this culture. Next on the tour, where we cover every aspect of the music industry on the Sister Speak show. When calamity takes the wheel, street takeovers and street racing in the USA. Who's producing the soundtrack for this culture? The last thing that anybody has time for is to get sick. Nobody wants to be man or woman down, but this rash, the itching, the vomiting, the fatigue, you and your partner know that something is wrong. This is going to require a trip to the ER. You're about to find out that you are a part of the statistics. There is an outbreak, and you and your reckless decisions have caused you to put your life on the line. I know you want to turn back the hands of time because you did not envision your life ending up like this. Next on the Culture Climate, syphilis, the outbreak. From pleasure to prescription to peril. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. In the summertime, people are trying to find ways to beat the heat. They're trying to stay cool by the pool. They're not expecting their air conditioner to go out. Fish don't fry in the kitchen and beans don't burn the grill. But for some reason, you feel like you're on the menu. You're cooking. It's baking. It's day 6. You've placed several calls to the maintenance, several calls to the manager, and to the property management, and nothing is being done. You see the maintenance workers, but for some reason, there's no progress. You and the rest of the tenants have had it. You know for a fact that your rights are being violated, and these codes, they're not up to date. And there's a violation. As a matter of fact, there are several violations. You've spoken to the landlord. You've spoken to the owner of the building. And they don't understand what's going on. They're trying to fix it. There's a problem. And it can kill. Next on the Culture Climate, the tenant's nightmare. Vision, sound, action, create, inspire, impact, evolve. You are now activated. You are currently listening to Dangerous and Armed. Anybody can get it. Plus, The Obsessed Boxing Coach, A Crime of Passion, on the Suspense Files, covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. Thank you for adding us to your podcast shuffle and for letting us be the flavor in your ear. Brothers and sisters and brothers, my wonderful listening audience, the time has been well spent. It is 11:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to end this podcast episode. I thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to get your $15.99 ready. You'll be able to get that link on Spreaker.com. I'll have that up. And I think I'll be able to have the link in my bio on Instagram at I Am Sister Speak. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. And yeah, we're going to take it from there. You've been a wonderful listening audience. The time has been well spent. And tell a friend about the Sister Speak Show Network. Get ready for the latest, newest segment to be added to the network called Armed. No, it's not called Armed and Dangerous. That's the name of this episode. The new segment is called The Rules of the Jungle. And I have a good episode already in queue ready for you all. So I wanted to get this one out of the way. It was really pressing for me to do so. So we'll get the other one up for you this week. And with that being said, you're a wonderful listening audience. May you have a prosperous week. May you make wonderful decisions that benefit the village, that, put you further ahead righteously. May your moral compass be strengthened. And may you be able to stand as a warrior with the whole armor of God upon you. And I'm going to leave you with this clip, and I'll talk to you later. I hope you sleep well, rest well, and whether you're listening to this at work, driving home, wherever you are, thank you for adding us to your podcast shuffle and for letting us be the flavor in your ear.
and you see things like that happen. And then that's a good knock. Yeah, it's a great knockout. It's devastating, making history and stuff like that. But how much that man gonna suffer? He may be all right now, a little bit, but what about the next day? What about 2 weeks from now? What about a month from now? Maybe years from now? And we seeing what happened. Look at Cologne. This man ain't have no kids. They don't understand, man. Y'all don't fucking understand what we go through, man. And I don't even know him like that. But I always be an advocate for us, and because he got in the ring to support his family. But now, his family got to take care of him for the rest of his life. That's why you can't play this.
Warriors, mount up.